Hello, what's up? What it do? Welcome to Readings by K&M Witchery. That is me. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of y'all who may not know, and this is your pick a card, a deep dive into what makes you intimidating. We're also going to dive into who is most intimidated by you in this way, and we're also going to dive into what your impact is on those individuals, both directly, indirectly, and perhaps even personally. Now, I usually have a nice little visual intro, but Mercury do be retrograding, so all we got is a picture. That's fine. Go ahead and pick your pile as soon as I see y'all on the other side. We'll start with a very quick energy check-in. And if that resonates with you, we'll dive deeper into the cards that had been pre-selected for you. So as always, I do hope that it finds anyone who needed to listen and hear the messages that are presented to y'all today. Remember to only take what resonates with you. Okay, leave the rest for another. If you do want something precise and concise just for you, be sure to check out knmwitchery.com for all sorts of readings with me. Now, without further ado, select your pile 1, 2, 3, or 4. Scroll down to the chapters, select your timestamp, and I'll see y'all there. Yay! Hello. What's up? What it do? Pile number 1. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. Let us deep dive into what makes you intimidating. Boy, oh boy, do I love hearing that. Note the sarcasm. Just diving into your energy, I think that you may not really fully understand what it is. Okay. I think people underestimate, Pile 1, just how much of yourself you put into everything you do. There's this misconception about what it is that you have been through. And there's so many people that are just constantly gnawing at your energy, trying to pry in, unable to fully get comfortable because you don't let people get too close to you. And that furthers the overall confusion, Pile 1, because you're like, I'm not even doing or saying anything. I'm literally just staying in my own lane, keeping to myself. And yet people tell you you're kind of intimidating. Or they leave you alone and you get this feeling as though, I'm not going to say necessarily that they fear you, because I don't feel that from you, Pile 1, but there's this great, admiration or, respect for you. And maybe you yourself, Pile 1, you don't really see it so much in yourself. You don't get it. You're like, I'm just me. I'm just a girl. I'm just a dude. I'm just here, minding my own business. And yet, your energy both magnetizes and yet repels, right? Because as much as a magnet attracts, well, its opposite end repels. And I think you maybe really truly underestimate the greatness that maybe other people are able to denote within you. Maybe not even truly pinpoint, but your energy just speaks volumes here, Pile 1. That's what I'm channeling into here. Could also be the power of your voice. Now, I am not a crystal girly, okay? So, I have no idea what this crystal is, to be honest. If it was truly my guess, I would say that this is a fake. But nevertheless, it's not fake enough to exist. Because, it's okay sometimes. I don't know. I think that, first of all, you could be water signs. I don't know why. I'm kind of getting drawn to, the design of almost, bubbles on this.
So it could be a lot of air and water sign maybe mixes. Oops. I'll drop on that. I'm going to say that maybe that resonated. You could be in a bubble bath right now too. Maybe really desiring one, needing one. Maybe you do this kind of art with like bubbles, like bubble art. I don't know what that is exactly, but if you know, you know. Ceramics maybe might have something to do with y'all energy. Hey, are these little channeled messages resonating with you? If they are, this could very well be your pile. That little energy check-in. Remember, only take what resonates with you. There's a bunch of people in here at any given time. So, you know, just have patience, I guess. Let's dive on in. So first we have Ranu Rudu with loyalty, unconditional love, blueprint. We have stillness, know thyself. I'm gonna shove this over, I think. Unknown gift, let go and bury. I think I'm gonna leave that be for now. I got a few more here to go, okay? What makes you intimidating? Your kindness. Like, I laugh, but people really just don't understand how someone so pure as you, Pile 1, can honestly exist. Like, there's gotta be a catch. Like, there's no way Pile 1 is this genuine, is this authentic. Like, and that's just it, right? It's the authenticity portion of you that's, it both repels as well as attracts. And there's a lot within you that you must have let go of. Maybe you even spoke out a lot about it. Maybe this unknown gift, you could be a singer. You might have a very beautiful speaking voice. Some sort of motivational speaking, could be writing as well. But whatever it is that you've let go of, perhaps even spoken out about, it only increased your self-awareness. And self-awareness, it's like a blessing and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Pile 1, if you're still here, you know what I am saying. Being aware of so much at any given time it's overwhelming. It's misunderstanding. It is a constant ego death after the other. And yet every single time you come out with a greater ability to love. It's like Pile 1, people are intimidated by you because you have this ability to truly lay to rest so much that people are unwilling to sit still with. And it only makes you more magnetizing. But again, a magnet both repels as well as attracts. I don't really think that bothers you though. I think Pile 1, like your curiosity and your confusion around being called intimidating doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all, because to you, you might think, based on your own personal experiences, let me just take a thwack at this, you know, general consensus, I guess. Intimidation literally meant someone trying to overpower you, but you don't do that. You let people be who they are. But see, that type of kindness, that type of understanding, that type of pure authenticity, it also triggers people's demons. You bring out their requirement to decondition so much within themselves. The fact that unconditional love came out here, yo, I got such a different perspective on unconditional love. I do. Because unconditional love, so many times people misunderstand this as a love without boundaries. But it is the absolute opposite of that. Unconditioning all the parts of us that refrain us from truly allowing ourselves to be loved and to love. You're creating a new blueprint so people can understand that true love, true self-knowing and self-care and loyalty within everybody can exist. Y'all are like reshaping people's clarity and like views of themselves and stuff. So no wonder it's intimidating, but again, it's not intimidation in the way that maybe you know it to be. It's through your love, it's through your loyalty, it's through your ability to actually be a friend, to like be a beam of sunlight, and yet still also help other people maybe overcome some challenges, to let go. You seem to be quite the guide. Are you aware? I hope so, because you should use this to your advantage. Lead more people with you, and that's what I mean by that. I don't necessarily mean, you know, take advantage in the sense of like be a scammer or anything, because unfortunately that comes a lot in this business, whether you're a coach, whether you are a sort of mystic or in the occult or whatever, you know, it's integrity, it's authenticity, it's also the ability to say, I don't know. I think y'all really have that too, and people respect that. And yet somehow, unknown to even perhaps yourself, you are able to acquire information almost with like a snap of your finger. You are very highly claircognizant, I would say. But it is through the deep work that you have done through yourself. Gemini comes to mind right now, so there might be this really strong sense of duality. Okay, you don't necessarily have to have this placement predominantly, but it's the aspect of really balancing out the two polarities of the human experience, you know, to varying degrees. You're able to meet that all in stillness and rebalance that out and transmute it into love. That's crazy. Let's see what else we got. Rejuvenate. Infinity. Preserve your power. The red balloon. This is giving me It vibes. I don't know. Revenge. Okay. Fulfillment. And completion with the number 9. Oh. Well, if you're tuning in the year 2025, there is definitely something that you are massively completing this year for the collective. I want to say could have a lot to do with your level of intuition and what it is that you could potentially be putting out there. So for anyone who this resonates with, if you have been thinking about expanding, starting, doing something with your intuition and becoming like a voice, a guide, perhaps your own version of a healer. Remember, you don't heal other people, you guide them towards their healing, okay? You are not responsible for anyone's, you know, healing. You could only point them in that direction, okay? Don't take that onto your shoulders. I've learned that the hard way so many times in my life. Please learn from my lesson, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that you're unable to help them rebirth themselves. However it is that resonates. I feel like you breathe life into things. Like you don't let people... You don't let people... Wow. You don't let people stay in their lows for too long. You may be intimidating to people, but you know how I said that they really respect you? Pile 1. I stand on that. I stand on that. I feel like they call on you. They come to you when they know that you can give it to them so straight. The information, the guidance, whatever, to rebuild them. Because they know that you have been able to go through so much of your own painful triumphs that you were able to rebuild yourself from again and again and again. So I think that when you are feeling, Pal One, that people are intimidated by you or something, I really just, I want you to change your perspective on that and understand that it's due to respect. People don't want to bother you. They don't. They respect you. They know how much you go through. Your ability to preserve your power and use it towards things that are so like precise, concise, like your accuracy is unmatched, uncharted, I'm hearing. Like you blow people away. And you leave people feeling more whole than they had when you first met. It's like you give people power. You could be a generator in human design. But I also just think that it's like your presence just like breathes life into people, you know? Now that you can be susceptible to like energy vampires and shit, which is another reason why I'm saying like you protect your space, you protect your energy, okay? Lots of people could be prying into your life and they don't know. And the thing is though, like the sweetest revenge is your healing, is your ultimate fulfillment, is you completing something. You are going to be highly intimidating to people who don't see whatever it is that you got bubbling up coming. Okay, there's some bubbles again. You got something cooking. I ain't gonna expose your business here, Pile One. You do what it is that you gotta do. You keep healing, you keep shedding those skin. Like, because like shit, like your Phoenix rising is coming out blasting. And the thing is though, right? Unconditional love as a form of like quote unquote revenge. Anyone who even tries to bestow any sort of harm on you can't freaking touch you. Do you know why? Do you know like the most powerful form of spiritual protection is authenticity? When you know yourself. Like when I mean like you take full responsibility for yourself. All of that duality that I brought up with that Gemini energy randomly, right? When you take accountability and you stay in full integrity on that, nobody can rock you. Even if they're sending out the most powerful hexes and curses to ever exist, okay? They can't friggin' touch you because you're just going to transmute that energy into your own completion and fulfillment. Because you take responsibility for everything that you touch. You transmute it into unconditional love. That's intimidating. You take this energy and you rejuvenate it. Hello? Infinitely. Infinite aura points. Yo, Pile One, who are you? I love it. Drop a blue heart down below. Or little bubbles. I love the little bubble emoji. Those are fun. I think you are about to pop out. At any point that you are tuning in, give it maybe like 3 months. You're almost at, like, I'm seeing like a generator, literally, but not in human design. I mean like a battery pack or something, right? And you're about at like 78 to 85%. Like you're almost at a hundo. Almost. But remember, keep some things to yourself. Let them wonder about you. Let them try to dig. Because this reminded me of it seems as though there might be some people around you, especially with this revenge energy, right? Like nothing that they try to cast upon you can like honestly touch you, Pile One, like straight up. Again, when you can stand in your power, that's it. It's not about having some sort of like pride or higher than thou attitude. It is just simply trusting in your own power, your own magnitude, your own strengths, and never allowing yourself to succumb to another person's will for you, because your will is free. What? Oh my God. I know some people use quote unquote magic and spirituality, even religion, any sort of like energy. Even if you take away all of this like woo-woo out of the equation and we just talk about manipulation, when we talk about people taking advantage of other people, convincing them to do things that they don't necessarily want to do, taking control. You cannot overpower the person who knows themselves so deeply. Y'all can really play with people. You play dumb. Oh, you play so dumb, Pile One. I see you. I love it. You let people think, and yet you come out on top every single time. Every single time. People might want to be prying into your fears, into your woes, into what it is that you're working on. Maybe they try to instill some fear into you. Again, I'm getting that from the it equation. And yet it's not working. Because you've deconditioned enough of your own soul's purpose and requirement, and you're like loyal to your inner sunshine. You are so highly protected, as above, so below. Y'all could be working with some deities that are from, like, you know, the underground. No judgments here. Y'all do what it is that you got to do, but keep it to yourself and pop off. Because, yeah, that would be really intimidating. Let's look into this. Okay, who are y'all intimidating? Let's do that. Ooh, I got a burp. A burp to expel any negativity. So, like, yeah, people, honestly, there might be some people who, like, it's very easy to judge people and make fun of them and all of that when you don't understand, right? Like, it's very easy to demonize what you yourself cannot grasp. Everything is evil if you sense any sort of unknown, right? And that's typically what it is. Like, we fear the unknown so much, but it's like you can just learn. You just ask questions. Like, you're not doing anything overly special here, Pile One. Like, and I don't mean to dig that. I think you're doing something incredibly special. What I'm saying is that you're taking very practical steps towards your healing. Like, you're just being yourself. You know? Including the ugly, painful stuff. Like, you're just being you. And yet, people like to misconstrue that. Because how? How can someone be so pure? How can someone be this confident? No way. There's no way. Like, you mirror aspects of people that they have buried so deep within themselves. But again, you're so highly protected from it. Who is most intimidated? Deception. Okay, so people who, again, try to deceive you, manipulators in your life. I'm hearing energy vampires, people that, like, honestly, you maybe thought that you would be connected to this person forever. I'm hearing Buzz Lightyear. To infinity and beyond. This could be an old best friend, for example. Someone, again, that, like, you wanted to go the extra mile with, to the moon and back, I'm hearing. But they were kind of like a puppeteer on strings. You saw through their facade. I'm hearing monitoring spirit, if you guys resonate with those types of revolving door. Could be someone that has come in and out of your life. Could be someone that, again, I mean, that alludes to the very beginning where I'm like, someone's prying, you know, it's like in and out. So this could be that revolving door. Could be like an ex and on and off kind of a situation. Doesn't necessarily always have to be romantic either. It could be anyone that you have brought into your life and then perhaps maybe walked right out, right? Or maybe they would ghost you and come right back. This is someone that definitely doesn't have a permanent position in your life. I'll say that. These could be multiple people as well. Take it only as it resonates. Concern with the caution tape here. Very, very interesting. We also have like this really great big explosion here. Could be someone that's quite erratic, someone that maybe, I mean, out of nowhere, things just kind of literally went kaboom in your connection. You can't really trust them, I would say. You've definitely kept your distance. It could be someone that maybe perceives something. Your healing, honestly, could be very offensive to some people, you know, because they can no longer manipulate you. They can no longer deceive you. They can't, maybe this revolving door is locked up. You got the caution tape around it, but you cannot come in. Nope. Could literally be like the bridges are burned down to a crisp, I'm hearing. No access allowed. Definitely someone you should set a boundary with, if not already. Because, you know, I mean, biasly from this angle here, reading this person's energy or people's energy, because it honestly, I think it ranges between a few of y'all. Some of y'all, you might have like literally like so many people from your past, or like, I won't even be surprised if y'all have like tea parties. I just heard a different pile, so you might resonate with another pile. Don't know what pile that could be at, because I'm still just doing yours, the first one here, but hey, trust your intuition if it guides you on your way somewhere else too, yeah? But nevertheless, people might be having like literal tea parties, you know, like your glow up, your hermit stage, like your ability to like, I think that honestly, here's the thing, right? Like you being so authentic here, pile one, super intimidating, and people like to kind of even make fun of your ability to like speak your truth, speak your hardships, even when you're at your lows, you know, even what like I think you're just like so real. Like you have like the full spectrum of like expression and emotion and like power that like you're just not someone that people can play with. I just heard spiritual gangsta. So what is the impact that you have on these people? So we have stress, shocker. We have healing. Okay, there's the opportunity to heal at the very least. And we also have sorrow. So, I mean, every single one of these cards, the crying, okay, oh, boo-hoo. So yeah, could honestly be someone that maybe even you yourself had cried over. I do feel as though, I mean, this is just between you and I here, pile one, but these people or this person, however it is that it resonates with you personally here, soul fam, you must have cried walking away too. I think that like when it comes down to it, it's this loyalty energy that's so loud with you. And when I really resonate with myself as well, like when you love someone unconditionally, you know, again, you might just kind of misconstrue what unconditional love really truly means, right? Are we deconditioning? Are we unconditioning all of the conditions that had been instilled? All those limiting beliefs, all those extra allowances and people pleasing, and again, all of these conditions, right? Just so we can be loved, but it's not real love, right? And when we start unraveling that, we start recreating the blueprint and the foundation, and we start building up our level of loyalty. We also begin to tolerate a lot less too. And then we start realizing where people hurt us. You know, it's like, I got ADHD, had since I was a child. I was diagnosed very early, and I was never placed on any sort of ADHD meds. So I've just been like raw dogging this bad boy. And like, so I guess why I mentioned that, y'all might have ADHD, or like perhaps maybe you're on the spectrum yourselves. But regardless, there's like this like delayed processing with like people that you really truly love. With people that are like your best friends, that are like your family, that are like your mate. Again, the people that you would go above and beyond for, right? Like your partners in crime, like whatever it is that y'all call yourselves, I don't care. Point is that like when you really truly love someone for who it is that they are, you tend to bypass the parts that they mistreat you. And that hurts to realize. So, you know, I mean, because this is their impact, well, like, you know, directly or indirectly, you could be honestly causing these people a lot of stress, a lot of sorrow, and a lot of opportunity for healing, okay? I think as of right now, tuning in, and hey, maybe that's changed, but I'm gonna call a spade, all right? It seems like these people have not yet learned perhaps maybe their lesson, and they take this stress and this sorrow and they kind of like misconstrue it as like maybe something ridiculous, like you're casting a spell on them, or like, again, you will attract, you will repel, okay? And people will misconstrue your authenticity as a direct attack if they themselves haven't met the depths that you very well have consistently, time and time again. And so, yeah, I think that they rather use this impact here towards maybe trying to have some sort of quote-unquote bombs go off, try to cast some sort of revenge, or like want to maybe befriend you again so that they can hurt you like you hurt them by like walking away or something. And I think you see above a lot of that too. But nevertheless, this is yep. This is what makes you intimidating, your authenticity. Shit, I mean, I love it personally, Pile One. What do you think? Let me know, please, with a blue heart or some bubbles down below. What really resonated with you? Let me know specifically, if of course you're open to it. If not, that's cool too. Just give this a like, maybe share this along. It really helps me out. And of course, I'm more than happy to see y'all in another pile, because yeah, there could be a multitude of reasons why people are intimidated by you. I know for a fact I will definitely resonate with every single pile, and then some if I do this again. So anyways, love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you subscribe. There are plenty more pick-a-cards available on this channel, as well as a bunch of other content. So feel free to have yourself a little pixies. Anyways, pixies is fine too. I was going to say peaksies, but Mercury retrograde's got my tongue. Either way, thanks again. And I hope to catch you in another pile, if not another video. Peace out. Hello. What's up? What it do? Pile 2. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. We're going to deep dive into what makes you intimidating. So if y'all chose this little itty bitty black heart, let's find out. Channeling into your energy real quick. I did hear Capricorn, so that could be in your top 3. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but it does give me the impression of someone who is capable of really putting their head down and getting the work done, okay? It's not always about being hardworking. I feel with this Capricorn energy that is like typically misconstrued, but like the sheer will and ability to put all of their focus into their tasks in order to accomplish it timely, considerably, properly, like attention to detail, meticulous. Now I have a stellium in Capricorn, not in my top 3 or anything, but like I do resonate pretty well with this energy when I say very emotional, okay? But again, able to put kind of their emotions aside in order to focus at the task at hand, to stay as grounded as possible. But I think that like the part that's intimidating is that like people can sense that there's like so much deeper within you, but like you're not really willing to expose it. You might even have your own little giggle of like, oh, my little black heart, or like whatever, you know, like that joke that typically people say. So yeah, you might be one of them who say that, or like people maybe might say that you have a very dark soul or something, but that's just because people can't touch your depths. There might be something to do with Scorpio energy here too, for anyone who that resonates with. You might wear a lot of like darker colors in general. What else am I sensing for you here, pal, too? I heard get money. I heard, but just wait. Let's start flipping, actually, because I'm getting pulled to these cards. So let's see what makes you intimidating. Let's start. Actually, there's so many cards here. Let's get organized. We have face your fear, quantum jump, gratitude, getting pulled to a lot of black. Okay, so y'all might be wearing a lot of black or something. We have hunt. I'm getting pulled to a lot of these eyes, so you could be very clairvoyant. You could just be psychic in general. You could really see into people's depths, into spirit, into, yeah, definitely into the quantum fields, able to really utilize a lot of the, well, quantum information to your advantage to foretell your next step. And because of the deep gratitude that y'all have here as well, it gives you that like hunter style clarity and precision with your intuition. Y'all could resonate with things like witches or something, or people might call you that. They might think you're very mystical, magical. But like straight from jump, like what makes you intimidating is your, I want to say like your clairvoyance straight up. If you don't resonate with anything like psychic abilities and stuff, which I would be shooketh with this account, interesting. Hold on. We have animal energy with channel, and we also have manifesteer with creation. There ain't no way that y'all ain't spiritual folk up in here. None. This ain't your pile if you don't resonate already. I'm going to tell you that. What makes you intimidating is your intuition. Nah, I want to see more. I'm going to pull the rest of your cards out. And we're going to take it from there. What else do we have? Do something different. Step. Don't be afraid to move and change. We have sacrifice. Ooh, the power. Again, with the emphasis on the eye. We have flow. We have financial discipline. There's that money energy that I was feeling through. You might have a spiritual-based business, or you offer guidance, clarity in some form or a fashion. If you're not getting paid for it already, what are you doing? What makes you intimidating, pile 2, is your ability to create your reality, to help other people shape theirs as well. I think that you don't fear your quirkiness, you don't fear your authenticity, you don't fear expressing that, or maybe you do because, yeah, hold on, I kind of bit my tongue there. Really get over your fear of being seen, okay? If I could just ever politely just push you and nudge you out there, pal 2, because it may just very well be aligned with your purpose, and where there might be some sort of intimidation in play for you personally is people trying to kind of suppress your magic, suppress your ability to see. Right? Maybe you got a lot of that kind of on a lock and key. And yet there are people out there, pile 2, that like want to be invited into your depth of perception and your insight. Like your level of awareness is uncanny. Like it's, and the fact that animal energy comes out here as well, I love that, especially as a channel card, because the thing is though, like animals can just walk in and out of various different types of astral planes and like dimensions and all of that with such ease, because they vibrate with such like a pure soul, okay? That your ability to connect with the animal energy means that you yourself have a much more swift ability to ease yourself in and out of various different quantum realms and shit. Like, you can just acquire information. Your clairvoyance, I want to say this so far, perhaps maybe unmatched in your friend groups and stuff. That's not to say that, of course, there aren't people whom are capable of doing what it is that you're able to do. But if you are one of those people, please share your insights a lot more. Okay, as someone whom as well has been using her clairvoyance in order to foretell a lot of, you know, collective direction stuff, I understand how freaky it is, okay? Like, you feel crazy. You've been probably told you've been a liar for a long time. Or that you just have a high imagination, or, you know, that you're crazy and all of that. But yet every single thing that you've tapped into, plus or minus some specific details, because we got to offer some leniencies here, right? Like, we don't know it all. Please humble yourself to anyone who believes that they just know it all, because we don't, and things can change all the time. But the thing is, though, is you have this ability to bring out the highest probability, and that offers people the opportunity to follow in your footsteps. And you are intimidating because you're a trailblazer. You're not afraid to do the new, to take steps forward and pave paths that no one has ever been able to walk before. Why? Because you're able to foresee more and trust in your intuition enough to follow it, even when you yourself cannot see beyond the fog and the mist. Like, your level of trust and your ability to stay in flow, pile 2, is intimidating AF. Because how? What do you mean pile number 2 just manifested a brand new life again? What do you mean pile 2 is popping out, doing this new thing and succeeding? Is there anything that pile 2 cannot do? How are you so good at everything, pile 2? How are you so perfect? Are these phrases that you heard often enough? And you can scoff at it, I understand, because it takes a lot to be able to dive into that level of like authenticity and like uniqueness, you know. But trusting in yourself and your insight is something that really inspires other people to do the same. So I honestly wouldn't even be surprised here if pile 2, a lot of people that like, kind of very similar to pile 1, is like a small spoiler there, right? Like, there are people who find your energy intimidating, but it's due to respect. Your authenticity, your ability to connect and perceive requires other people to meet you there, to be as authentic, to use their level of perception, to dig deep. So you might really be able to awaken people to their quote-unquote path. With sacrifice here, this is giving me a wounded healer, okay? So again, if you have a fear of being seen and you yourself are a seer, please step the heck out of your own way. It is the best thing that you could potentially do. I understand that your wounds may run deep, and I'm not just talking about other past lifetimes, because a lot of people are like, you were a witch that were burned for speaking, and I understand that, cool. But I'm talking about like this life, like when people shut you up, or when they didn't listen, or they didn't believe you, or something like that. I understand. Or people completely misconstrue it, or it's like broken telephone. You're like, that's not what I said, or like, that's not what I meant. Like, just, but pile 2. You're different now. You're different now because you, time and time again, have allowed yourself to foresee through trusted action that what you were able to predict for yourself and others had in fact come true. Like, there's this level of stability now. There's this hawk eye vision here. with a quantum jump and face your fear. Come on now. Your level of foresight is unmatched. Get reimbursed for it. There's a lot of wounding here, right? One of them is definitely going to be financial for anyone who, of course, this resonates with. But pile 2, I'm going to tell you this, okay? I know that out of the goodness of your own heart, like giving advice and like, you know, just being a good person, it's kind of like uncomfortable. Like, what do you mean I'm gonna get paid for this? Like but when you are able to accept any sort of repayment for the energy that you put out, you are going to be more and more in flow with your passions and with your path. Like, I'm saying that you're going to go further than you've even pictured yourself going so far. I think you're intimidating to yourself. How to, if I could call you out, hey boo. I think your own foresight is intimidating right now. You might be freaked out about the things that you see, the direction that you got to go in, and what is required of you once you get there. Because that's the thing. A lot of people don't really talk about clairvoyance and stuff, right? Especially when you get to a point where you can really start channeling more and more for yourself, which is always more difficult to do because our lovely ego steps in to protect us, right? So it's always good to get clarity from like other readers that like you can trust and stuff. But nevertheless, when you start really seeing where it is that you're at later on, like you see yourself, let's say, like past a point of overcoming some of your fears. Let's say you're on a stage, right? You got a microphone in your hand and like actual people here, like looking up at you, wanting to hear what it is that you have to say. And yet like that is a far future vision of yourself, because right now, like you're even too afraid to press play on your own phone, even if it's just to record your voice. Like your abilities intimidate yourself. But I urge you to stop being afraid and to move forward towards that change, because your calling has been calling you time and time and time again here, pile 2. That honestly, I think that you're kind of your own greatest intimidation right here and right now. And of course that's being projected onto others, and we're going to touch on them. But I gotta call some people out here, because you just might be talking yourself out of more clarity, of more quantum jumps, of more abilities to face your fear, right? Like this face your fear card is the first one that came out, right? But like when we move forward and we manifest, like we have to be more willing to overcome the uncomfortable stuff, right? Like we can't just always have everything work out perfectly without first getting comfortable, right? Like there's so many like things that we have to decondition within ourselves first. But that has to come with doing something a little bit different. And I think your heart is really pushing you towards a particular direction. And yeah, I think honestly, while others are intimidated by your intuition, I think your greatest competition is yourself. You're intimidated with yourself. Does that resonate with you, pile 2? Let me know. Maybe drop a little black heart down below, or an eye. Let's do that. A black heart or an eye, if this has been resonating with you so far. And of course, if you want to give some more specificities, that would be great. I love hearing from y'all. I really do. Let's see. Who is most intimidated by you and your intuition and everything that we've uncovered in this reading so far? Let's dive into that. We have... Okay, so we have some leftovers here, maybe some Chinese food. Okay, hold on. We have calm with a little pill. Okay. We have the cult. Very interesting. And we've got some bank cards, I guess. Let's see, it says bankrupt up here. Okay, listen. I'm gonna be your mirror, okay? I'm gonna play you for a hot second. Yeah, you know what I mean by that? I mean, I'm gonna shine a light on yourself like you shine the light onto others and themselves, okay? Because this is feeling very personal. This is feeling like it's your energy. This is feeling like the person that is most impacted and intimidated by you, and in this case, your clairvoyance, your attunement, and your level of awareness, is you sleeping on yourself. This is giving me leftovers. It's giving like you're sleeping on yourself. You know, and you're like, maybe tomorrow. I'm just going to push it a little bit more, right? We're going to not put in as much effort right now. We're just going to really focus on our calm. No, let's regulate our system because this is feeling very uncomfortable. So we have to overly gift ourselves with relaxation and self-care, which is really beautiful, by the way, okay? Like, I am a Libra sun and Venus. Self-care all the friggin' way, okay? But don't let that be your excuse to postpone because you are waiting for it to feel right. Go towards the uncomfortable thing, doing something different and taking that next step, and like, you know, whatever it is that you've got going on. There's a lot of creative stuff that you have utilizing your intuition, and it doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, being a clairvoyant or like a public psychic or anything. It could be your own special way of utilizing your insight as a form of expression to help other people connect with themselves. That can mean so much. And again, you can be reimbursed with that, whether that is your words, whether that is your art, whether you are creating something, whether, I don't know. Y'all could let me know if you feel like it, but stop sleeping on these ideas. You see it already for yourself, pile 2. This is feeling like a personal reading right now, straight up. A lot of y'all might have already clicked off. But like, here's the thing, you have people waiting on you to speak up, to create, to be seen. And yet you're waiting and sitting in this like limiting belief energy. This is giving me 5 of coins energy. 5 of coins, it's a lack of value, a lack of will to be seen, to be helped, to be heard. Why are y'all sleeping on yourself? What's the impact on this person who, I mean, this could be, again, other people might honestly be sleeping on you, but like, I'm gonna say this, and maybe it may not inspire you, especially because it's never your responsibility to help other people through their healing and like, you know, their own guidance and stuff. Like, all you can do is point the way, but you're not in charge of their healing. But like, there's so many people who are sleeping on themselves, who are incapable of maybe calming their own anxieties and working with their own intuition, that are sitting there waiting for you to show up and be the trailblazer to show them what to do and how to do it. There's literally an entire collective. I don't even care how many, it could even just be your own family. It could be one other person who you can wake up that will literally like rebuild an entire society. You have no idea who you are able to impact until you get out of your own way and you allow yourself to be that intimidating person in the room. Fuck it. Let your level of intellect and insight and perception guide people on the way so they can stop sleeping on themselves like you are sleeping on yourself. And if you're not sleeping on yourself and you're still like, if you're gonna be here like, Kat, what are you talking about? I already have like a business doing all of this stuff, and like, you know, I've been following all that. I'm going to challenge that a little bit. Is there something that you know you're supposed to launch that you've been sleeping on? That you've been shoving off to the side, that you've been like, oh, I don't know if this is worth my investment, if people are gonna buy it, maybe you got an upcharge, okay? Maybe it's time for you to start getting paid out even further for your dues. Where have you been sacrificing yourself, friends? Never be afraid to ask for more, I guess is what I'm saying here. What's the impact? We have jealousy, we have manic, and we have renewal. So this jealousy could honestly be like maybe a false impression or illusion, right? A level of comparison. Comparison is a thief of joy, and it might make you manic. Putting a lot more attention into actions that don't actually pursue the vision. And there is a chance for renewal here. What are you manifesting? I find it very interesting that like when I touched renewal, it kind of like pushed everything up here. With manifestir as well as financial discipline, with renewal here, there could be maybe, I don't know, work with me on this one, an aspect of your chart, like your astrology chart or something that is currently being highlighted in like your finances. So I think this could be your second house. It could have something to do with your Venus too, because as much as it's about love, it's also about money, okay? Your 10th house. I don't know. But this could honestly just be something about like a cycle kind of opening itself up to you, you know? Did you learn the lessons that you needed to break yourself out of these shells, to step out and create and shift the reality as you see fit based on you facing your fears and doing something different? Because opportunities be arising. You kept manifesting them. Well, they're here. Now you got to take the uncomfortable leap. Stop sleeping on yourself. I heard my snaps. So it's a few minutes shorter, but that's okay. I always try to do my best to like even out all of these readings, but like, hey, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, walk you around in circles. I think y'all gotta do what it is that you're here to do. And for what it's worth, I am so proud of you. I'm so excited. Yeah, hell yeah. Show up, show out, pile 2. I'm so excited. Yeah, very interesting reading on intimidation. Let me know, pile 2. It sure as heck wasn't anything that I expected, but of course I would love to hear from y'all. You can definitely resonate with more piles. Yeah, because there's a lot of reasons that people might be intimidating. Pile 1 was very interesting. This was definitely completely different too. So I'm excited to record the next 2. On that note, please subscribe, like, comment, again, your little black hearts or your eye, so I know that you resonated with this pile. And yeah, if I don't see another pile, I do hope to see you in another reading. All right, so thanks again for being here, pile 2. Take care. Peace. Hello, what's up? What it do? Pile 3. How you doing, baby? Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. We are gonna dive on into what makes you intimidating. Let's deep dive into it. Y'all chose this little red heart. Don't know much about crystals, but if anyone does know what crystal this is and its attributes, feel free to share it down below. That would be really great. Let's tap into your energy, pile 3, for a very quick channeled message to see if this is your pile. What's that mean? I don't need your opinion. Do what I want. Y'all got some, I want to say like masculine energy, in the sense that you have a lot of drive, you have a lot of ambition, you have a lot of goals, you have a lot of don't tell me what to do energy, and if you do tell me what to do, or worse, rather better, what not to do, I'ma do it all out tenfold. Just watch me now. Oh, I love this energy. Oh my goodness. It is like 2 days later after I recorded the first 2 piles. So it is Monday morning and y'all are just fueling me up with this energy. I absolutely love it. So lots of ambition, lots of motivation, lots of go-getter energy. Not to say that you're not obviously normally tired and stuff too, but you have a really good ebb and flow, at least from what other people can see about you. And yet there's like this secretness about you. There's this mystery. There's this constant wonder, like, who really are you? Like, when you put your phone screen down, meaning like, you know, what other people can, let's say, see on social media, or like when you're home alone, there's this wonder about you. I think sometimes people might wonder, do you really have it together like all the time? Is life really as great as you're making it out to be? Maybe it is, shoot, but people are still very curious about you, because how can you stay so motivated, get so much done, and like be such a beam of light? People wonder that about you. And I think you really have people at an arm's length so that they don't mess up your grind, so that they don't input their opinions, even if they mean well. Y'all are really like level-headed, what I'm sensing here, pile 3. But you just don't want to get jaded, persuaded. I said invaded. Are y'all like some, I don't know, writers, poets, rappers, something along those lines? Do not ask me to rap. I will make a fool out of myself personally. But hey, it's all good. Just, you gotta weigh with words. And in any case, you don't want these people to get in your head or misconstrue your vision because only you can see it. It's that type of dedication and grind and foresight that only you hone, and thus you bring it to life naturally, because you don't allow the impact of others to, you know, get in the way. Does that resonate so far? Let's dive in, okay? Because if it does, it could very well be your pile. So let's see my go-getter pile 3. I love that. Okay, so we have see beyond the past. Oh, I love that. Like there's a black and white swan there too. Very interesting. I heard Swan Princess. That might resonate with y'all. Do you guys remember that movie? Surrender to receive. Oh, little otter. Why so sad? We have kindness. Oh my god, we have kindness again. Get out of here. I do my best when I shuffle in to shuffle down, which I had noticed that all of those videos are now gone. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. We have Magick with alignment here. So in any case, a lot of these cards are surprises to me, as they are for you. And we just read as they go. And we also have alchemy here with choices. I got that little bong there. I love it. Okay, so before we channel in some more energies, I can really understand that go-getter attitude, okay? Because you change the game as far as leadership is concerned. People are intimidated by you, Pile 3, because of your heart, because of your kindness, because of your ability to set boundaries, to alchemize, to get everything that you want to acquire done, and done almost through a lens of like magic, whilst also remaining as level-headed as you possibly can. When it comes to leadership, even if you're not like specifically directing, let's say, a team or like management, it's not what I'm talking about. I meant like you lead through action. Your integrity due to your actions outweighs anybody's words. And I think that you might honestly have a lot of people that maybe has known you from the past and didn't actually register how much you yourself have changed. You've completely surrendered to your own karma, to your own lessons, to your own livelihood. And it's like the image that I'm getting is like building your body, right? Let's say at the gym, you're eating right. Like it's a never ending sort of discipline. Like you can't eat whatever it is that you want, however it is that you want, go to the gym every single day and then hope to see like the greatest results. Like you have to be in a caloric deficit, or like, you know, eat accordingly to whatever your goals may be at the time in order to really grow, right? It is a 24/7. You make sure you get enough sleep. You make sure you get enough rest for your muscles and your body. You make sure you definitely get a lot of movement. You go to the grocery store. You organize all of your meals accordingly. Maybe even meal plan them once or twice a week. Like it is a consistent quote unquote sacrifice and surrender to the overall experience to better yourself from the inside out. People really admire that, but that is also intimidating. So sometimes people might actually like cling on to something from your past and be like, well, POW 3 used to be this and this, and they used to be partying all the time and like all this extra shit, you know? But like, even maybe they even have a glimpse of your pain or like something from the past. Because there's definitely a lot that you keep reserved right now, probably for a reason. I could get it too, especially, you know, kind of getting into your vibe a little bit more here, POW 3. But people are honestly intimidated by the fact that you've bettered yourself. You didn't let those difficult circumstances, whatever they may be for you personally, to deter you, to take you off course, to make you a mean person. No, you instead began to lead and alchemize. And kindness coming out twice also should never be misconstrued with being nice, okay? You can still be a very kind individual, being very genuine, moving through integrity, and offering people whatever it is that they might need without ever allowing yourselves to be walked all over, right? You're not nice, you're not fake. And people respect that about you too. But again, that intimidates a lot of people, because what do you mean you're just going to be a good person just because you can? Huh? People sometimes pose that as a threat. Like, POW 3, you can't be this kind after everything that you've gone through. You might have POW 3 once, at least once in your life, been called like a narcissist or something, when people just completely misconstrue your confidence, misconstrue the vision that you see for yourself and your potential as something that it honestly isn't, because like your kindness has always shined through. But again, people are going to misjudge what they do not understand, and you are one that people do not understand. They don't get it. They would want to sit in, they would love to be a fly on your wall, POW 3, and observe. Observe your magic, observe your alchemy, maybe even observe your pain. I think sometimes people want to actually see you cry and like be emotional. It's really interesting that it's coming out. I don't necessarily want to call it weird. I don't think it's like a kink either, but like, I don't know. There's more to you behind the veil, and people want more, but it's due to them not receiving that more, or like fully, I guess, getting access, that you become intimidating. What else do we have here? We have trust the divine plan. Okay, so very like, especially with this kind of outfit here, very high priestess, very Mother Mary here too, kind of, sort of, if you are a Christian or anything along those lines. Maybe she has something to do with your journey. We have dragonfly. There is a deeper meaning. I love the dragonfly spirit. Can we talk about the dragonfly for like a hot second? They are incredibly feared amongst the bug collective. As soon as they see dragonflies about, they scurry. Because although something as little as a dragonfly, and to us as humans, I mean, they do us zero harm, at least from my know. Does anyone ever get bit by a dragonfly? Y'all got a weird story like that? Let me know. Completely harmless to us, and yet most feared in the bug collective. As far as their environments are concerned. I feel like I needed to reiterate that. But like in any case. Now dragonflies too, they're born, I believe, within water. So they literally live in a completely different world until they pop out. And they fly above it, literally. There's this fear of transformation that people see within you that is incredibly intimidating. Just your general essence. Even if you don't necessarily... Here's my little quote-unquote secret, right? When it comes to my own readings, when it comes to my own spiritual practice and like the guidance, I really settle into practical spirituality because I do my best to remove the woo-woo and all of the spare work and all of the extravagancies. Like, you don't see me waltzing around. I mean, you may kind of see me actually with the blue hair and nose ring and tattoos and be like, yeah, she definitely does some sort of like whatever. But like, I'm not overly romanticizing the spiritual journey because I know the depths. I know the transformations, and I want to simplify it for myself to make it easy, right? To regulate my nervous system. Yeah, in the past, you may have known me one way where I was very erratic, very impulsive, very toxic to certain degrees. But this is how it is that I'm relating to you here, Pal 3, where there was this great transformation. And now people fear that because you hold both the light and the darkness within you, and you don't mind embracing that and just being who it is that you are and still setting the example to become a kind person and just a good person in general. It's like, it's really admirable. We have Parasite, we have Going Forward, and we also have Time Out. So, okay, you definitely, I would say, put people in a timeout, maybe even walked away from people, right? Parasite is really sticking out to me. You've done a cleanse, my friends, okay? There's no coincidence that, there you go, there's no coincidences in my readings. So in any case, you must have, okay, sorry, because I digressed, I got very distracted. So there's no coincidence why I had brought up, let's say, like dieting and things like that, right? And making the best out of, let's say, like your physical transformation as one of the examples there. Because like it feels like you've definitely done like that kind of a cleanse and intentional shift throughout every single aspect of your life, definitely including some of the friends and stuff that are around you, maybe even family and stuff like that. I'm sensing like you walked away from a lot of people in your life here, Pal 3. You moved forward, you put people in a timeout, you got Parasite. Again, people want in and you're like, zero access. Like you can only get this much of what it is that I'm willing to show you, tell you, whatever. But otherwise, their inability to further have access and even move forward with you, right? Like you're on this path. You could be very solo throughout it too, okay? Not saying that you can't be married in a relationship or have friends or anything, right? But there's a lot that you yourself go through that is just yours. That is intimidating. Because what do you mean you're not going to flaunt everything and tell everyone, like, and you're just like, maybe you do, honestly. Maybe you share a lot and people are still not convinced that you can take such a simple road and take that good care of your entire well-being, your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual bodies, and move forward. And you trust that divine plan. I think that you've really embodied a lot of your own values, and you continue to meet them to the best of your capability. And that's the thing, right? I feel like y'all, Pile 3, also really like own up to your mistakes, your wrongdoings, or anything along those lines, you know, because you're okay with admitting when it is that you are I want to say like when you're wrong, right? When you see improvement. So you take that leadership route and you move forward with that in mind. And to a lot of people, that's intimidating on its own as well, Pile 3, because most people would want to hide their imperfections. But again, you wear them. And you say, yeah, this is where I was. This is where I'm going. This is how I'm doing it. But how I'm doing it is in the work that you're avoiding. So obviously I'm not going to keep you in my lane because I don't want to hear you complain all the time. I don't want to hear you make your excuses or sprinkle your fears onto my path. And it's not to say that you don't complain, that you don't go through all of those lows and woes yourself, okay? Maybe, you bust out the little baby violin and you do a little pity party. That's okay too. But you're still very human about it, is what I'm saying. And that is intimidating, my friends. I'm going to let my dog in because he's scratching out my door. Come, dog. I think this is also an invitation to let in a friend, right? Maybe open yourself up to a community. And you can keep that community very private to yourself, right? Like maybe you'll even like join a support group or start one yourself or something, right? You can have a very select way of connecting to people without letting those quote unquote parasites into your energetic field so much. Jump up, Halo. You can do it. He's overthinking jumping up onto my bed. I don't know if you can hear his little tippy taps. There it is. He managed. So, people underestimated your ability to outshine the many versions of yourself. You've literally built yourself anew time and time again through blood, sweat, and tears that people do not have full visibility into. And that mystery alone is intimidating. And here's the thing, even if you did show them everything, they would still be intimidated by you because there's still this veil of disbelief. Like, what do you mean? Pal 3 went through all of that. No, they didn't. You're probably a liar, Pal 3. That was sarcasm, by the way. But people might honestly misjudge you as someone that is just untruthful because you cannot be who you are after everything that you have been through. You just can't. There's no friggin' way. Or so they think, so they say. So when you are able, Pile 3, to stand in your magnitude the way that you do, it naturally becomes intimidating. So let's dive into who these people are, potentially, right, that think like this. So you might have an idea yourself. Okay, so we have this three-headed face thing here, okay. Could be someone with multiple personalities, or at least someone that you know a lot of their different like faces and phases. Okay, it doesn't always have to be in like the mental disorder route, but we are going to also include that just in case. We also have the festival goer. We have this Botox here. Okay. We also got a bunch of pills. Pills and potions. Da, 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 da. Before we touch in on the impact here, which I feel like we're going to read a little bit differently, but we'll see what lies behind here for a hot second. Let's just dive into these types of people. So, I am going to say that these are likely people from your past, a life that you have left behind, right? Now, this is no shade towards those who go to festivals or anything. I'm just reading the energies that are coming out with everything that's included here, okay? These could be individuals in your life whom had created the facade of being very spiritual, very enlightened, and being like, oh, I am so in tune with all of manifestation and love, attraction. But they do that through consistent use of substance or altering who it is that they are. Not saying that Botox and plastic surgery is bad, okay? Again, I'm just reading the type of people and why that they would do that, because there are people that are so insecure within themselves so that they apply more of these pills and potions to alter themselves. Meanwhile, you are yourself. Maybe you also got some work done too, but you're doing it to enhance who it is that you already truly are. Do you kind of feel and sense the difference of what it is that I am trying to allude here of who these people are? These could be past versions of yourself, meaning like friend groups whom you used to party hardy with, you know, who knew these other versions of you. I'm literally seeing like a group of people. There could be multiple people in your past that you, again, you kind of like walked away from. You realize maybe the parasite is all of that toxic behavior, all of the stuff that used to always put into your body that just caused more inflammation, more insecurity, more addiction, right? Like, can we talk about that front of this whole equation here? You maybe stopped participating in acting out and putting on this facade, this mask, this costume in a way, and you just became yourself. Even more so. These are the types of people whom are intimidated by your energy right now, Pile 3. The people who you outgrew. And maybe they know that many versions of you. And the moment that you walked away and you removed their access to you, Pile 3, well, that's where I feel like their intimidation really heightened. Because you were willing to let go of your insecurities to heal them. I'm just saying insecurities as like an example. It could be literally anything. But you were more willing to do the hard work, to confront all of the versions of yourself. And say, you can stop pretending now. You can stop hiding now. You are loved. It's all good. Now these aren't toxins, but rather vitamins, minerals, things that you need, substance versus substance. So what's your impact? We have at peace, gratitude, and unknowing. You definitely offer these individuals a more positive outlook than I believe maybe you are aware of, which is a good thing, I would say. So hopefully this can heighten that level of awareness. But even then, this impact could just honestly be your own in your own state. And that's just currently being reflected back onto you as well. So take this as it resonates. But the impact that you yourself have had by walking away is peace, is gratitude, and is moving forward and upward, even into the unknown. You've never been this person before. You don't know what you're doing, and it's okay. We're going to still bravely move forward and take the steps upward, right? The impact that you might have on others, especially whom are intimidated by you, is the invitation to work towards their own gratitude, to work towards their own peace, and give them the permission to do so. This is where we circle back to that beginning where I'd stated y'all are leaders. You are able, through your own actions to give people the permission to teach them and to guide them, even if inadvertently, towards their greatness, towards their peace, towards whatever it is that y'all are moving forward. I mean, who knows what lies on the other end? Maybe it's like a cool town. Maybe it's a fairyland. Maybe it's just more grass. All you know is you're going to keep on moving forward, and you're going to learn and you're going to adapt as you go. Because you have braved so much already that you already know what to do. That surety, that ability to find peace and gratitude within yourself gives people the permission to do the same. Not everyone will take it, and that's their prerogative. And those are exactly the types of people that you've basically already, if I haven't already said it enough, pile 3 walked away from. This time out energy too, like your ability to sit still, to acquire more information, to stay grounded before moving forward in, like, you know, like you're not in a rush anymore. You're grounded. You're not doing it for the gram. You're doing it for peace, for gratitude. This is a really beautiful impact, I would say, to have on others, and especially to embody yourself, I would say. Pile 3. So this is how it is that you are intimidating. I mean, kudos. Kudos. Just, you know, remember to also let some other people in too. It's always good to have some friends in a good, healthy community. However it is that resonates with you. But that's all I'm going to leave you with. If you had resonated at any point, I do hope that you will drop a red heart down below, maybe like an orange heart, whatever kind of heart you feel like. And do we even have dragonfly emojis? Do those exist? I don't know, but maybe like a swan emoji or a sparkle emoji. I don't know. Whatever it is that you want. Give me something, whatever it is that you align with. If, of course, you feel like giving me a little bit more insight into how it is that you resonated with your reading today, I am so excited to receive that. I do hope to see you in another pile if you resonated with more than just one. Every single one so far has been so surprisingly just wonderful in my personal opinion. So yeah, you're definitely invited to that. Or subscribe and check out any other pick a pile or reading that I have available on this channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, pile 3. I hope you have a really beautiful rest of your day, and yeah, just thanks again. Peace. Hello, pile number 4. What's up? What it do? I actually got really pulled to your energy to channel into way before pressing play, and I just want to say I really want to give you like a hug. I feel, pile number 4, if you got pulled to this pile, please correct me if I'm wrong, but like, it feels as though y'all are on the verge of like a breakdown. Like, I almost wanted to like laugh as I said that. Like, it's burnout to a point of like rage / exhaustion. I feel like some of y'all just might be really sick and tired of having to constantly repeat yourself or like ask people for help or something. You're not always feeling very seen or heard or something, you know. So anyways, I do hope that whatever comes up in this pile will give you more insight towards yourself and what makes you intimidating. But aside from all of that, every single pile I've done a little bit of like a channeled message or like, you know, an intuitive reading to learn as an energy check-in if this is your pile. And some of y'all, I don't know, in and around the time of you tuning in right now, you're feeling very unseen, and I just want to say I see you and I hear you and I can definitely feel you. And I hope whatever it is that you're asking for, you get so much more in return, because you're definitely worthy of that. I'm sensing also a lot of like very deep rooted, perhaps maybe anxieties. Again, kind of like it could be rage. It could be rage. You might be too angry to show anything for it. You know, it's giving Hulk. Like, you don't want to see me when I'm angry. But like, I think you need to give yourself like a whale on like a pillow, you know, like just start punching it. If you got a punching bag or access to one, I would definitely recommend it. Maybe grab said pillow and scream into it, get into your car or whatever it is that you got, crank the music up in your household, wherever, and just have yourself like a little bit of a scream or something, you know, like just kind of export, that's not the right word, any sort of trapped energy and such, and allow that to just like release it. I don't know, some of y'all just like need a hug followed by like a good cry and potentially scream or something. So yeah, I don't know, I can't really get past that sort of energy here though for your little check-in. So anyways, firstly, thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. Again, I do hope that it is well worth your while. You got pulled to pile 4 and this little crystal clear heart. I don't know. I really don't think that these are real crystals, to be honest with you. I think I've said that in every pile too, but I don't know. I thought they were really cute nonetheless. Let's dive into what makes you intimidating, yeah? And I really don't think it's going to be what it is that you think it is either. So far, every single pile has been like a really beautiful surprise, honestly. I haven't really been expecting the readings to come out the way that they had, and maybe it's the decks that I used or something. I don't know. Pile 4, I'm going to tell you this before we do continue. You're really giving like hardcore, like best friend vibes. You know, someone that I feel like I could kick it with, and you can just like, I don't know, drop your shoulders, relax a little bit, just be yourself, you know, because you deserve to be around people who can actually like really see you, who can relate to you, because I feel like for a long time maybe, or at least at this junction in your life, you're not feeling as though whoever's around you right now is like it. I don't know. Ooh, anyways, I don't want to shake off your energy, obviously, but I do want to dive on straight in. So if any of that resonated, I hope you accept my nice little big hug to y'all, energetically speaking, of course, and let's dive on in. What makes you intimidating? So we have the illusion. Very interesting. Prayer answered. Discernment. I feel like I have to sneeze. We have cunning. We have Urzuli. Sorry about the mispronunciation. We have pay attention, giving mom vibes here. You could be a father as well, or just a really caring person in general, okay? Maybe you got some pets that you basically treat as your own offspring, you know, not to be too creepy about it either, though. And we also have Lantarki Mace with peace. Okay, we're gonna keep on pulling. Live your soul, not a role. I think this is a really good message for you in general right now. We have evolve. It's okay to grow. Very powerful imagery right there. We have colorless angel, transformation, and spiritual career. Okay, so as I'd mentioned, things are really not as they entirely seem. Okay, and what's really beautiful, you might resonate with pile 2. I'm just going to throw that out there, okay? It's really important for you to heed those messages should you feel pulled to number 2. Beautiful, beautiful pile 4. You are on the verge of a breakthrough in your life that will demand you to really truly be yourself. Also, probably demand a lot from the people around you. What makes you intimidating is this underlining current of unexpressed thoughts, actions, emotions, etc. And what I mean by that is energy is often sensed before it is logically understood. or deciphered, you know? Meaning that sometimes, I know you know this, Pal 4, you can look at someone and be like, I don't really like them. You know, there's something about them. I don't know. They didn't do anything specific to me. They didn't look at me, talk to me in any kind of way, but you just sense something off about their energy. Now, the thing is, though, is you might honestly oftentimes kind of get those types of reactions from people, even though your own intentions could be very pure, so to speak, right? Like, you never intend people harm, and yet you're hiding something. You're hiding an aspect of yourself that is unfreaking seen. Again, maybe you're hiding back and holding back some anger. Maybe there's maybe there's some pain within you and your experiences that you've never had the opportunity, or maybe the courage, however it is that resonates, okay, to speak out about it, to tell your story. You know, maybe for a long time you've been shut out and shut up. You know, and what makes you intimidating is people around you can sense this bubbling, okay? Can sense this ability to be different. And it doesn't mean that it's any better or worse. It means it's different. There's this unknown energy within you that people can misinterpret. Maybe they think you're really holding back and being super sneaky there with that fox and cunning card. And yet, what's really beautiful, at least about your energy, is whatever it is that you have opened up about and felt brave to discuss, you were immediately helped. Maybe not necessarily, I gotta correct that for a lot of y'all, maybe not necessarily from the people that you hope to receive it from, and yet when you open up generally, your soul fam has the opportunity to hear your call. And using your powerful discernment, you can then learn where certain gifts, advice, help, whatever, where that's welcome, right? Because there's some people that you're just like, absolutely not. And maybe that's what's really shifting and changing here, is you started to build up a lot of this discernment for yourself and start taking care of yourself in a way that actually matches the current transformation and evolution that you are on. You're bringing color back into your life. How you intimidate people is based on your hidden potential. This could be a reading that maybe speaks to a past version of yourself. There's like a select few of you, I'm going to call maybe like 5 to 7% of the people tuning into this particular reading. This could be a version of yourself that stayed small, that suppressed their anger and sadness and all of that. And now you got more work to do. Now maybe you're dealing with things like chronic illness. Now maybe you're dealing with things like any sort of mental disorders, right? Any sort of disillusionment. And yet it's within you to use. I think for a really long time you were intimidated. And now that you've reached this junction in your own personal life, even if unconsciously you're feeling these aspects of yourself wanting to like break out, people can sense that and are then now kind of becoming your own fears, you know? And I'm not saying that maybe you were afraid, maybe you were. This is kind of feeling low-key like a therapy session here from my pal 4s. Love you though. If you do need someone to talk to, just know that you can always reach out, okay? KNMWitchery.com. You could always book a reading with me too, in case that tickles your fancy. But outside of that, okay? you got resources coming on in to help you let go of so much that you have suppressed. There are going to be some people in your life who will not like that. And that's okay. Because here's the thing, right? Intimidation isn't always something to be feared or misconstrued as like a negative, right? Like, you can be intimidated by someone's talent as a form of like respect. You know, like the first time I ever heard Christina Aguilera live, this was so many years back in her like dirty Xtina phase, which I feel like she's like back onto now, but her power of her voice was very intimidating to hear. It just echoed, but it was a form of like respect and like, damn, like ain't nobody got lungs like her right now, you know? At least back then. So intimidation can sometimes be appreciation for one's power, and you're really being called right now by your own spirit team to transform. And the thing is about the butterfly, right, is it's complete mush before it stretches out its wings and busts out of that cocoon, you know? Not specifically in that order, but you were that caterpillar that built their cocoon in that hermit mode and just caved itself in and turned into mush and muck. And there's only so much mush and muck that you can take. It's time for the breakthrough. It's time to start the transmutation process and integrating self-love, I would say. Integrating the resources that are being extended to you whilst filtering out what you don't necessarily trust, but also never neglecting that sometimes help is actually, it's a good thing, right? Like sometimes we find peace very scary because whenever it was too peaceful for even just a little pinch, the shoe dropped or something exploded, and like it was never peaceful for too long. But that doesn't have to be a cycle that needs to be repeated over and over and over again. And that has to come with you actually allowing the explosion to take place within yourself. Not in like a, you know, super self like defeating way, but rather in a form of powerful expression where you can truly be the parent to your inner child. I'm loving this like beam of energy and sun just coming up behind this woman. Now, gender doesn't really mean much to me, especially when it comes to reading, okay? So take this as it resonates, but you become the adult that you have always needed. And it has to come with you standing up for yourself. How would you have wanted somebody to stand up for you? Become that person for you. And for others, inevitably, right? Like, that can literally it could be aligning you to your purpose. And that makes you intimidating. But again, in a form of respect. It was 15:55 on my timer here, by the way, so there's a lot of guided change, okay? Lean into it a little bit. It's time for you to rise and be intimidating. Because the more intimidating that you are, the more likely you are authentic. You're choosing to take up space. You're choosing to make a mark. So many people often talk about this thing called legacy. And oftentimes they misconstrue that with lineage, thinking that your children are going to be your legacy because that's what you're keeping behind. But Is that really truly your legacy though? Of course not. Whatever they choose to leave behind beyond just children, the mark, the change, the impact, that's legacy. What's yours? Because there's an aspect of you here, pile 4, that I'm picking up. It's this little tiny grain of sand, or like a little teeny tiny seed that wants to break free, to grow, to become more stable than they've ever known themselves to be. And that will require you to accept being intimidating, because you are intimidating, like it or not. Obviously, by the way that I'm kind of pulling this energy, you're not a big fan of it. I'm just saying get used to it. Because you could prove people wrong as well by showing up as a really great person. People see your light. They've seen it for a long time. And they were intimidated by it, thus making you small. That's how they projected, and that's how they kept you in line. Because if you could have seen the power that they've seen in you, well, it should get you very angry when you realize that you could have stood up to them a long time ago. And this is where we start kind of taking more ownership of our futures, right? We can't help what had occurred to us in the past, but we can choose to make a better future for ourselves. So imagine you rewriting your story and becoming the hero that you've always needed. It's like Harry Potter. People were intimidated by his abilities, by his magic. He was still just a kid, a bullied one at that, by his own family and others, other adults, people that he was supposed to trust. They found him intimidating. They kept him small, you see? Nah, you're a bunch of wizards in here. Accept your invitation to Hogwarts and ignite that fire within you. You're intimidating in a way that you've least ever expected to be. And I actually love that for you. So who is really intimidated by you other than yourself to a certain degree? What else do we have here? We have Magician. Okay, so I don't look at these cards when I'm shuffling them in. So it's just like raw, authentic, whatever energies and messages come through. So it's funny that the Magician comes out, because there are people whom feel as though if you really truly stepped into your power here, that you just might dim their light, that their tricks will be exposed because you're the real damn thing. Pile 4. Keeping yourself small would be a big disservice to yourself and to many others, I believe. We got Amazon packages at the door, unanswered. The bullshit artist. I mean, we have the troll here as well. Before we dive into the impact there, these are people whom, yeah, they honestly, I feel like a lot of what it is that I was channeling into for you, people who would rather you stay small to keep themselves feeling big and grand and excellent, and maybe even you being dependent on them. Like codependency actually takes two. It's not just one person being overly reliable on another. It is that other wanting to be relied on, wanting that, like, it's like, this is how you'll both thrive. One has to always be given and always be needed, and the other one wants to need. Excuse me, expel the negativity. So there might have been some attachment styles and issues, or maybe there are currently that are coming up to the surface that are asking you, pile 4, What do I want? Who am I? Who am I without these people? What can I be? If I could be anything. Because the people in your life that find you intimidating, based on today's messages, are people who will troll you on purpose, who probably think that they shit don't stink, okay? And yet they're fakes and phonies. And honestly, this might be someone who gets kind of everything that they've always ever wanted, but at somebody else's loss. These are kind of shitty people, if I could be honest with you. How do you impact them? How does your intimidation, or your ever-growing intimidation, how does that impact people? We have ambition. Was this in reverse? I don't know. Anyways, we have ambition, we have anxiety, and we have acceptance. Honestly, I think that this impact here is for you to embody in yourself, because you do inspire these people they just use that inspiration in a way that hurts people as opposed to builds them up with you or with them. You know what I'm saying here? It's AAA. I don't know, something about A might have something to do with it too. It's a very interesting note here. With anxiety too, I mean, I feel like this is your anxiety again. Like it's a very interesting notion here that I'm getting about this impact. Because I'm really truly feeling this is more your impact. Like their impact on you versus how you impact them. Here's why. It's teaching you how to accept yourself a little bit more. It's teaching you how to work through these anxieties to move on up. It's teaching you how to maybe take the road less traveled, but find the courage and, well, the ambition to become, to evolve, to transform, to breathe life back into yourself and into other people around you, to create community that is outside of this type of energy, because they also exist. This is why I told y'all in the beginning, like, I would love to just kick it with y'all. Real recognize real, bitch. And I see you. I do. And the thing is, though, is you can absolutely impact these types of individuals who have kept you small to be ambitious. But their ambition is, they're motivated by keeping you anxious and unacceptant of thyself. This is very interesting because this energy, like, it feels as though it could be upside down and reversed and right side up. Like it's constantly switching and stuff. And again, it's people misusing potential. I think you should step up and step in. And again, if this is your past self that I've channeled into Pal 4 and you just chose to stick it out too, just know that that past self now thanks you. This is the prayer that you have been able to answer for yourself. The illusion has lifted. You have a layer of discernment that will never allow people to trick you in any form or fashion ever again, because now you're paying attention. And you've found that inner peace. And you're living your purpose, not just what other people rather you be. No, it's okay to grow. It's okay to outgrow people who just want to keep you stuck, small, afraid, stagnant, colorless, lifeless. No, you stand up, you transform, you evolve. And who knows, maybe you now have a career out of it, or you could. But these people are just but a fragment of the collective. They're good people that want to hear you, that want to give you more happiness and peace and all of that. But it first has to come with you giving it to yourself. Okay, so yeah, go forth and do the things that I recommended in the first, I think it was like 4 minutes of your little channeled message, where I was like, go scream, go punch something, have yourself a hissy fit, go to therapy, get a support group, do something. I don't know. But get it out, get all of this out so that you can really build anew, because like, yo, your intimidation game is just getting started. Shine. Shine. All right, Pile 4, thank you so much. Wow. I would love for you to please put a white heart, I guess. But I think we already did a white heart in the other groups. I don't know. Let's do butterflies. If you resonated, drop a butterfly down below. I would love to see it. And of course, give me more insight if this had resonated with you even deeper, if you're open to that. I would love to hear from y'all. I always do in the comments, that's for sure. And I do hope that you maybe go to another pile if it resonates. I think for you, I did mention pile number 2. So go ahead, flutter on over there and see how that resonates for you as well. Otherwise, I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you in another pile somewhere on this channel, because we have many other pick-up piles and readings and such available for you. So I do hope that it continues to serve you. Thank you so much again for spending some time with me today, Pile 4. Blessings to you. Peace.